cause of broken marriages or like divorce, financial. Reality check that I really want to ask to each couples right now, to married couples. Are you trying to protect your marriage or you're trying to expose it? If there is a problem that arises, the two of you partner to solve the problem, not the problem tear you apart. Communication is the key. Kahit saan parang number one dapat meron kayong good communication. Let every person, okay, be quick to hear. Marriage is not just, marriage won't collapse in an instant. Parang yung mga nakikita nyo sa social media or sa they don't just collapse for certain one issues. Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube podcast channel, Gem with Gems. So for today's episode, I'll be discussing lessons. Well, feeling expert, charot lang. So, 4 years in marriage, real lessons. So I'm gonna share to you things that I've learned inside our marriage. So are you ready? So 4 years in the marriage, I'm going 5. So let's see what's number 1 on my list. So number 1 on my list, first and foremost, is the big letter C. So why is it first on my list? And what is the letter C? So number 1 is communication is a key in everything. May it be for kahit saan parang number 1 dapat meron kayong good communication. May it be for the work, may it be for your, business partner, employees, co-workers, friends, families, husband and wife, right? Let me go ahead and read to you before we deep dive to it. James 1 verse 19. Ayan, communication, diba? So James 1 verse 19 says, "Know this, my beloved. Brothers, let every person be quick to hear, slow to speak, slow to anger." Let me repeat yung parang instruction doon. Let every person be quick to hear. It doesn't say there, let every wives be quick to hear, or let every husband, let every female, let every male, let every friends, no, it says there, let every person, okay, be quick to hear. So that's why, for me, inside our marriage, it's very important that we build a good communication. I know there are communications that will be bumpy. It's not always the smooth sailing, ganyan. Of course, because life throws us bunch of challenges. And marriage is not just, marriage won't collapse in an instant. Parang yung mga nakikita nyo sa social media or sa, they don't just collapse for certain one issues that then and there nagbe-break na yung marriage, nasisira na. It has this nagpa-pile up yung mga issues. And I just want to share with you one of the things that I've learned in the past weeks or past months. In the US, I did a research. What's the top 10, top 5 cause of, broken marriages or like divorce in the US, and you will see there that it says finances or parang financial problem, ganyan. And one of the things na reason dun is, kunwari, kahit parang 50s na sila, 40s, 60s, naghihiwalay pa rin sila. One of the reason there is, sabi, kasi ginamit niya yung pera namin for pambili pala ng kotse, pambili ng ganito, ibinigay kay ganito, ibinigay sa ganyan. A lot of things na hindi na pag-usapan sa marriage. And what that communicate is, yes, there could be like a financial problem or whatsoever, but at the end of the day, it boils down to the communication part. Na parang, mayroon akong nabasa doon na sabi parang 60 plus or parang mga ganun na, retire na sila, malalaman na wala pala silang for retirement fund kasi nagamit yung 401 nila, 401k nila sa student loan or nabigay sa parents nung gantong side, 'di ba? In the first place, dapat na pag-usapan yung in the marriage, hindi yung, oh, bulaga, ganyan. So, 'di ba? And the reasoning behind it nung mga na research or parang group of family that was asked those question is that kasi ang hirap niya kausap kasi pag sinabi mo to sa kanya magagalit siya or hindi siya papayag, eh you exactly know the reason pala. So you also as a person, as a husband or wife, has that, may kakulangan din sa part nyo bawat isa kasi you didn't reach out to the person, you didn't try to communicate it. Alam pa lang magkakaroon ng parang problem, why didn't you communicate it right then and there? Instead, pinalipas mo yung ilang years for the other party to know, di ba? So parang, of course, the other party will feel betrayed, ganyan. So for me, yes, it's very important that you have your communication inside the marriage. Kasi kahit saan naman, di ba nga, as what I mentioned, kahit sa work nyo, ayaw nyo ng miscommunication per department. Sa accounting, sa marketing, sa finance, kahit saan. Kasi pag may miscommunication, big sabihin, magkakaroon nyo ng imbalance or problem that will arise sooner. And I learned this during the first years of our marriage, that communication is really hard. Pag ganun. Kasi we girls tend to parang, silent treatment, na parang tatahimik ako kasi galit ako. Tapos at the end of the day, yung other party, hindi pa din niya alam na galit ka kasi tahimik ka. Akala niya, gusto mo lang ng space or quiet or nagme-meditate ka lang. Ganyan. Diba? Kasi marriage is not like, kailangan pag tahimik ako, alam niya na. Ganyan. Baka naiintindihan naman na niya yon. Wala pong hulaan dito sa marriage. You voice out what you want and you voice out also what you don't want. And because there are a lot of times na, alam mo yun, I want to emphasize that, sabi nga dun sa verse na binasa ko sa inyo kanina, we should be quick to listen. So if the other party is, telling you things, you as the receiver should receive it intentfully. Bakit nga ba ito nangyayari? Ganyan. You communicate. Parang pwede mo namang sabihin, alam mo, medyo nainis ako sa'yo kanina kasi ganito yung ginawa mo. And then the other party will be aware, nainis pala siya pag ganun yung ginagawa ko. At first, it will be like awkward or you don't know how, maybe, diba, how to really say it properly. Tapos nainis ako sa'yo, binuksan mo yung tubig agad, hindi pa nga, diba? So, try to communicate, but of course, with peacefully pa din, diba? And try to be, as much as possible, right then and there, you communicate what's happening, you tell the person what's happening, and communication happens only if the other party also is willing to parang also share, voice out as well. Kasi sometimes whatever we send is not what's been received. Right? Kunwari, I send, babe, ano oras ka uuwi? Tapos dun sa other party pala, babe, ano oras ka uuwi? Parang gano'n na pala yung dating, diba? And then, that's not what you meant naman pala. So that's why you need to have a good conversation, good communication. I know some husband and wife, they communicate either, text. Some naman, they communicate through notes because yung isa mataas yung emotion pag nagagalit siya or pag naiinis siya. So, nire-write niya muna and then she'll come himself, bibigay niya dun sa husband or wife niya. And then, after that, they'll communicate. And then there's other people also na, yun nga, nagme-message lang sila, nag-voice record. So, any form of communication so long that at the end of the day, you will sit down together. Right? That being said, I have a reality check for every one of us. Number one is, do we communicate to be understood or to win? Ay, mga girls dyan. Number two is, do we reply or do we just listen to reply or do we listen Or do we really understand what the other party is saying, right? And God gave us, look, two ears, one mouth. What does it mean? We need to listen to the both side of the parties, or to the other stories, or whatever it is. We don't assume. Basically, that's why you need to communicate. You don't just assume things, right? And number two for me is, you know, ito siguro madaming makaka-relate din nito, or parang madaming magsasabi na, oo nga, no? It's the letter P for me. It is the partnership, right? Because when you got married, it's, of course, God is in the middle, you, and then your husband or your wife, right? It's three chord, sabi sa Bible. Partnership for me is, it's not the partnership that we're used to here in this world, na business partnership na pag alam nyong malulugi na yung business nyo, you will dissolve it, right? You will exit both parties para hindi masira yung name nyo, or hindi madamage lalo yung assets, properties, whatever it is. You get out of that situation, you get out of it immediately. But the partnership that we have in the Bible, God is in the middle. Meaning, yung referee is si God. Yung referee is hindi yung nanay mo, hindi yung nanay niya, hindi yung ate mo, hindi yung kuya niya, hindi yung papa mo, hindi yung pinsan niyo, kung sino man. Okay? Okay? So, ang referee niyo is si God. So, let me read to you Ephesians 4 verse 12. And though a man might prevail against one who is alone, two will withstand him. A threefold cord is not quickly broken. Perfect. Yan ha, sabi sa Bible. Threefold. Ibig sabihin, kayo ng si God, ikaw yung husband or wife mo. And, diba, let's put it in the scenario going back to the partnership. Partnership or marriage is not about, katulad ng what I've mentioned earlier, it's not when you feel tired, you cancel it, na parang Netflix, cancel subscription, ganyan, Spotify, whatever it is, Disney, kung ano pa man yan. Especially here in the Philippines, it's like a lifetime subscription, right? Yung marriage, basically, right? Hindi nga to cancel after a month or two, whatever. Kasi it's a covenant, a promise that you both signed up for. I know this is controversial, but I'm gonna stick with this part only, okay? Going back to the partnership thing, partnership is defined in dictionary or Google. There's two people involved, right? You and your partner. So it means if you have certain problems, issues, you don't involve other people. And I also learned that the hard way during our first 2 years of marriage, because there will be parang people getting involved. Kakampi ko si ganito, kakampi ko si ganyan, 'di ba? Sometimes nauna pang nakaalam yung parents, yung best friends, yung sisters, cousins, kamag-anak, ng issues nyo, 'di ba? Kasi hindi mo na-communicate ng maayos sa partner mo. That's why it's number one for me yung communication. Kasi nauna pa pang kinommunicate dun sa partner or sa friends mo, sa families na iba outside the partnership, 'di ba? Outside, na which dapat dun sa person involved lang muna talaga. Right? Does that make sense? So, that's my thought on, like, I mean, that's my take on why number two is partnership. Parang sa business again, if you know that between you and your partner of that business na malulugi na yung company nyo within 6 months, but you still have like buffer for 6 months, you will not, hindi mo naman agad yun sasabihin sa 100 employees nyo, diba? Gagawan nyo ng paraan na paano nyo mapapataas yung revenues, paano nyo mapapataas yung sales, ganyan. Kasi, one of the reason there is, of course, magpapanik yung lower, yung mga nasa baba, yung mga empleyado. Either maghahanap sila ng ibang trabaho, or, alam mo yun, ano ba tong boss natin? Mag-ano na pala, hindi pa tayo sila, diba? Ang dami ng hearsay na hindi naman talaga nakakatulong din sa partnership or sa marriage context, kumbaga. And people that you try to involve in your marriage, since partnership nga to, diba? We're talking about the partnership. Kumbaga parang okay na kayo, and then the other family member who heard pieces of your issue, hindi pa sila okay either sa partner mo, sa husband or wife mo, or sa'yo mismo parang, ayan yung asawa ni ano, may ganun pang moment, di ba? So, better to really don't involve people outside the contract, outside the partnership, okay? So far, let's do a recap. Number one is communication. Number two is partnership. So a reality check that I really want to ask to each couples right now, to married couples. Are you trying to protect your marriage or you're trying to expose it? Because at the end of the day, you should be the tag team. You should be the partner in crime, kumbaga nga. If there is a problem that arises, the two of you partner to solve the problem, not the problem tear you apart. Get it? You pray about it. That's why God is in the middle. You pray about it and you ask God to strengthen each one of you to overcome, on how to resolve, on what are the things that you do. I still remember way back when I was working in the BPO, one of my trainers said, kapag tumawag yung customer or yung client, I was in a payroll back then, and may discrepancy, hindi mo kailangang awayin din. Or kapag inaaway ka ng customer, hindi mo pwedeng awayan din siya. You need to know that the customer is a little bit frustrated of the discrepancy they're having dun sa payroll nila. And you reassure the customer that you are with him or with her to resolve the problem, that you are his partner in this journey to resolve it. So parang ganon siya. Kung may discrepancy yung financial, yung marriage nyo ngayon, let the two of you sit down together and find out the error, find out where is it coming from. Hindi yung, kasi hindi mo ginawa tong step na to, hindi mo pwedeng sabihin yun dun sa customer na tumawag. Kaya nga sila tumawag to ask for your help. Diba? Hindi sila tatawag kung alam nila yung sagot. Parang ganun. Yung isang natutunan ko way back that I just want to share to everyone. And one of the things also that I want reality check for everyone is, are you building your partner or breaking your partner in public? Because in the social media era that we're in, I see some couples post their spouse or their wives na, hindi ka tumutulong sa bahay, puro ka lang ML, or hindi ka naglalaba, hindi ka nagmamap, mga ganon, di ba? Keep it to you guys. The world doesn't need to know everything. You don't need an audience kung nag-aaway kayo. So, fight for your marriage, not against each other. Sit down and pray together, because again, it really matters at the end of the day. The reason you go back to your core, why? At the first place, pinakasalan mo yung taong yan, right?